As a fourth-generation entrepreneur and business owner, I know the grit and grind that it takes to run a business. With ChingonSA, we're capturing stories from other local business owners and community leaders to highlight them for you, our querido community of San Anto. From the culture, for the culture. Welcome back, everybody, again to another episode of ChingonSA. I'm Luis. I'm the host of the show and want to say thank you guys so much for checking us out, also for subscribing, for liking, for following, for sharing these episodes with your network on social media and all that fun stuff. Super excited to introduce you guys and to start a conversation with Jeanette Lira. She is a licensed professional counselor, supervisor, entrepreneur, and identity expert. I have a question about that. I'm really curious. And she's dedicated to helping clients and clinicians step into their fullest potential. She's the founder of, oh my gosh, I'm going to mess it up. Auravia. And I practiced so many times before we started recording. Auravia Therapy and Lumvia Identity Development. Two transformative organizations that bridge mental health, holistic healing, and professional empowerment. She's also the host of her own podcast. It's called Untamed and Unapologetic. It's for wild individuals. I'm really excited to hear about that. Who are ready to break the rules, challenge the status quo, and reclaim their power. All while providing a very clear message. You don't have to stay who the world told you to be.
That's right.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Jeanette. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I've been following you on social media for a minute. You popped up on my feed and just kind of, been following your messaging and, super powerful in your messaging and definitely for entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, executive level, make sure you're following Jeanette on her social media channels, and we'll link all of those in the show notes so that people can find you easily. Awesome. But let's start with how did you get into therapy? How
did I get into therapy? Well, I never ever wanted to be a therapist. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be, I don't know, Selena. Like, I remember singing in my bright red lipstick, with the microphone, and just getting down with myself. I would practice my autograph, everything. Yeah. I was 10 years old. I'm like, this is happening. Yeah. So no, I never wanted to be a counselor. Yeah. But it kind of happened. And I tell people, you have to just kind of follow the path that you're put on. A lot of times, we like to fight it and create our own path. Or I don't know, take out the shovel and try to make it go this way. And if we don't follow the path, then you never know where you're supposed to be. Sure. And so my path led me to being a counselor. Nice. How long have you been a counselor now? It's been, I think I got my master's in 2010. So I want to, what is that, 15 years? Yep, 15 years ago. Lord Almighty. I'm right there with you. Tell me about it. Yeah. You're not originally from San Antonio, I learned today. But you got here as fast as you could. So you're originally from the Houston area, came to San Antonio in high school. Went to O'Connor, then went back to Houston to get your undergrad, and came back to San Antonio, and went to UTSA to get your master's. Is that right? That is correct. Yeah. Yeah, I came over here kicking and screaming, but I mean, now it's fine. It's grown on me. Okay, yeah. That's all right. We're still picking at it. It's like a little scab, right? We're picking at it. Yes. You'll fall in love with San Antonio. I'm born and raised in San Antonio, and the funny thing is I always thought if I was ever gonna move out of San Antonio to another big city, it was gonna be Houston. Really? Yeah, and I will tell you that my first time driving through Houston, I was absolutely panic attack. I didn't have a panic attack, but I was I am absolutely not moving to Houston. There's no way that this is happening. Being 16 and learning to drive in Houston. I can't. And I'm telling you, I was an adult when the first time I drove by myself in the Houston area. I was like, nope, don't want to do this. Yeah, no, I vividly remember getting on the highway for the very first time behind the wheel with my instructor, and he's yelling, "Hurry up, go faster. They're going to run you off the road." And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Yeah. God,
That's fun.
I figured it out.
There you go.
Figured it out.
You
Yeah.
had to. It was sink or swim at that point, right?
Yeah. But you know what? That's like what life is all about, right? We figured it out.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So you started your practice how long ago? How long have you been in your own practice now?
I have had Auravia for almost 8 years.
Nice.
Like coming up this March of next year.
Yeah.
It'll be 8 years.
Do you have a particular focus? Are you like doing family counseling? Is it youth crisis counseling? What is your practice focus on?
So we do all of the above.
Okay.
Right now we have about 14 therapists.
Oh, wow.
At one time there was close to 50 in 4 locations.
Wow.
That was really hard to manage.
I bet.
Really hard to manage. But now we're a lot smaller, which is nice. It gives
Sure.
me the chance to actually do some work with clients. But we see everybody from little people. We have play therapists there to young adults. I mostly see young adults around like that age up to older adult.
Yeah.
But there's trauma counseling. They do EMDR. They do ETT. That's what I do. It's emotional transformation therapy. We can talk a little more about that later.
Yeah.
But CBT, DBT, like we do all the things.
CBD as well?
No. But next to my office in Helotes,
Oh,
they
okay.
do sell CBD.
Okay.
I think the place is called Reef. They're awesome people.
So in your bio, I read you were an identity expert. So tell me about that. What is that? What does that
does it
mean?
mean?
Yeah. Tell me all the things.
So it's kind of something like I just created, right? Because
Okay.
I like to create things. But essentially, I built it based on my own life, right? And at the beginning of my life, I didn't know who I was. And I didn't know who I wanted to be, right? All of us go through that. Like, who do I want to be? What am I here for? What am I supposed to do with my life, right? And so throughout that, I recognized the shifts that I made in my own personality and my own identity and what I believed about myself. And so with all of that work on myself, I was able to like recognize that, hey, we aren't born who we're supposed to be, right?
Sure.
We go through things, we fall on our face, we get hurt, like things happen throughout life and those things shape us. And when things shape us, we literally change who we are. And so when trauma happens, there's like things that happen in your brain that literally change its brain chemistry to make you think differently, see differently, talk differently, like have different beliefs. And that's where the identity expert part came into play, because I'm like, if I can shift who I am, then what about other people? Like, can I shift other people? Can I help people shift themselves? And through my own practice at Auravia, like there's so many people that have made huge transitions in who they are and who they believe to be.
Interesting. And you're doing this with anybody that comes through the door, so it doesn't have to be a specific type of clientele that you're looking at. You're helping individuals find out who they are. Do you find, I guess, like at some point or at some age, at some maybe a period in someone's life where they're more open to that?
Absolutely. So a lot of times, like, our frontal lobes aren't developed yet until we're after 21. For men, it's a little bit longer. Sorry. It takes a little bit longer.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
around 21, we start to be like, okay, this isn't working anymore. We get maybe anxious, depressed, and we're noticing it. And that's because our frontal lobes are finally developed and we're able to understand, like, hey, okay, this thing that I always do, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And so that's when they come typically, and that's when you're able to, sorry, he distracted me with the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But keep on, you can take my picture. But that's at that point where you can be like, okay, well, I need to do something different because what I used to do doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So young adults basically is where. Would you say that that's like the ideal time to come in? So here's, I guess, what my question is. So, like, when is the best time to start therapy?
The moment that you recognize that things aren't going right for you. And the thing is that therapy's ongoing, right?
Yeah.
Because there hasn't been a point in my life personally where it's always been like sunshine and rainbows and like life is grand. It might be sunshine and rainbows for like a small amount of time, but then like something happens and I fall in the dirt, right?
Yeah, yeah. Not literally, figuratively
Sometimes. I'm a little clumsy.
Oh, are you? Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, you know, I did not love therapy when I started, but I've been going now for, I think, probably 12 or 13 years now. And I now realize that my life is better for it. And I don't know where I'd be without therapy. So I owe a lot to therapy for you know, there was a season in my life, probably 2015, where I went through a really, really difficult season, you know, battling depression. I mean, major depression, got on medication, you know, and that even was really difficult for me to admit, I think, or to talk about.
Yeah.
But now, you know, I'm fairly open, I think, with a lot of folks. But yeah, so I went through probably a 1.5 year long battle with depression. You know, seeing counselor after counselor after counselor.
It's hard to find a good one, right?
Yeah, somebody that you can gel with. That I don't know that I mean, unless somebody has been through what I've been through, it's hard for them to understand, right? But most were empathetic for sure, and that's fine. But it was just hard to connect with someone, I think, especially for somebody like me who is already sort of distrusting to begin with.
A little resistant.
Yeah. And some resistance. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, you know, in our culture, therapy is
you don't do it.
Yeah, you don't do it. You don't talk about your feelings. So coming from that, you know, the stigma that comes with therapy, I didn't want to tell anybody where I was going, what I had these appointments for, all that kind of thing. So it was really difficult at the beginning. But now, you know, I don't have a problem talking about therapy, and I think everybody should be doing some form of therapy.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs to have their therapist on speed dial.
Yeah.
Or something. Like, hey, I need to get in.
Yeah. So you mentioned you have 14 other practitioners that are part of your practice. Everybody sees different types of clients. Do you have some that focus in a particular area?
A lot of them specialize in different things. It's all on the website, like for people that are looking. But back to like what you said, like it's so hard to find a therapist. Like people come to me on a regular basis and they're like, do you know what I've experienced before I've come here? And I think we're a little lucky at Auravia because a lot of our therapists there like connect with all of their clients. And I think the one reason why there aren't as many great therapists out there, it's so hard to find one, is because they don't teach us how to connect. They literally teach us in school to disconnect from being human and be like on a pedestal. Like, don't tell people about your family. Don't tell people about yourself. Like, all of that is bad whenever we're in school. But I quickly realized that if I don't share my own struggles with the person in front of me, they're not going to trust in me.
Interesting.
And so myself, like I'm currently on medication. I'm going to take it for the rest of my life because I don't want to get off and fall in the dirt because I can't. I'm a mother, I have 3 businesses. Like there's no time for that. Yeah. And so I tell people on a regular basis, like, yes, I'm ADHD. Yes, I have to take my meds. If I don't take my meds, I get lost going home. Yeah.
ADHD can do that. And I think most business owners have that too, right?
I think
some form of ADHD.
Yeah, it's that creative part of our brain, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You mentioned 3 businesses. So we've heard so far about Auravia. What are the other 2 businesses that you've got?
So Auravia and Lumvia are my personal, I'm the only one that owns them. Auravia Wellness came along just this past year. I partnered with a nurse practitioner and a doctor, and we for the past 7 years, I've recognized that it's so hard to find good medical care too. And a doctor that's going to listen and be like, oh, okay, you want your hormone panel done? Let me just run it for you. Instead of asking a bunch of questions and saying, oh, wait, you don't need a hormone panel. You're only 35, right? When in reality, at 35, that's when your hormones start to shift. And so a lot of times they won't do it because you're not premenopausal yet, or you're not in perimenopause yet, or whatever. And they do it for men too. But
men are premenopausal?
No, they lose their testosterone though. So
okay.
Like really starting at 30, it's almost like menopause for men, because you literally like it's harder to work out. Your bones hurt. You don't recover as quickly.
Amen. You're preaching to the choir, sister.
Yes, and as a doctor is going to shy away from that most of the times, or they're going to give you synthetic testosterone. And so we needed a clinic that was going to listen to the client and listen to what they need and hear them out and look at them as a whole, like we do with the therapy part. Because a lot of times, like if you're deficient in vitamin D or your hormones are off, right? You're going to have more anxiety, more depression, less motivation, and all you really need to do is get a blood test. But doctors don't do it, or you're waiting for months to get in. Yeah.
Interesting. Let's talk about your podcast for a second. So Untamed and Unapologetic, that's what the podcast is called. And you said it's a podcast for wild individuals.
Yes.
Tell me about that. What kind of guests have you had on? What's been your most exciting guest that you've had on the show?
Gosh, they're all exciting. They are. I need my first male. Maybe you can return the favor.
Absolutely. I'd love to come on. I want to get wild.
Yeah, right?
I don't even know what that means.
We can get wild.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, it's pretty much like, like society tells us we have to be one way, right?
Sure.
And you, like for a Hispanic woman, how I grew up, you're quiet, you don't speak, you keep your distance. You're not out in the front of the stage, right?
Yeah.
You're not on spotlight. And when you do that, you're looked down upon. And that's like how I lived my life up until I said, you know what, like forget that. I'm not going to follow the rules.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what fits me and what feels good. And that's what Untamed and Unapologetic is all about.
Nice.
It's being able to get rid of what society told us to be or how they want us to be and live life the way you want to be. And so I've had a lot of entrepreneurs, because typically entrepreneurs are the ones that don't follow the rules.
Yeah.
And so that's what we talk about. We talk about a time where they had to not follow the rules in order to get what they needed, stuff like that.
Yeah, what I've found interesting when I look back at sort of my entrepreneur. So I'm fourth generation entrepreneur. My great grandfather had a grocery store. My grandfather had several businesses. I have two uncles who are business owners currently. One of them is an insurance agent, so I don't talk about him all that much. We're gonna talk about Bruno. Yeah. No, actually, I had him on the show. He was one of my first guests, I think. But anyway, yeah. So, and I started my own business as well, and going through all of that. One of the things that I love doing is connecting with folks, other business owners, hearing their stories, hearing their struggles, the grit, the grind that it took to get where they're at. And it's been a fun journey so far, right? Yeah. I've been doing it for 15 years now. And I thought one of the reasons that I started this podcast was because I wanted for folks like you to be able to come on and have a platform to be able to tell your story, tell what it took to, get your business off the ground, the struggles that, you kind of experienced along the way, where you're at now, what your legacy looks like, and the impact that you're going to have on your community. And I'm so grateful for people like you that are willing to come on and tell your stories, because I think it needs to be heard by a bigger audience than just your own network or just, your advisor, right? Like your insurance advisor or your financial advisor or your family member, right? And even sometimes your family members don't appreciate the struggle.
No,
right? Because
they don't understand
it. Yeah, because they've never lived it. So it's always cool to connect with other entrepreneurs and like-minded people like that.
Yeah.
What inspired you to go out on your own and start your own business? Because I know before we were talking or before we started recording, you mentioned that you were working for another practitioner. So what about that experience led you to say, you know what, I want to do this on my own?
Yeah. I honestly, one day, like I talked about before, like when stuff doesn't work anymore, right? I was working for Northside ISD as a school counselor, and I mean, I loved it. I love my team. I love what I did. I love the kids. And there was just this one random moment. I got called into the principal's office.
Uh-oh.
And
we've all been there.
Right? Well, I never was in the principal's office because I was the quiet, shy girl, right?
But now you're wild?
Yes. We'll get to that.
All right.
But I get called into the principal's office because somebody found my Facebook page and I was wearing skimpy clothing.
Oh, wow.
And so they took pictures of it and sent it to the superintendent and told the superintendent, this is the type of people you're hiring to educate our youth.
Yeah.
And so they tried to get me fired. Little do they know, they did not. And in fact, when I came back from spring break and put in my resignation, they begged me to stay.
Wow.
But that wasn't why I left.
Yeah.
But it was a sign for me to be like, okay, well, this is not where I need to be.
Right.
If somebody's telling me like, hey, get rid of her on the side or behind the back, I was like, I can't, this is not for me anymore.
Yeah.
And so that, along with the death of my brother and a divorce and all of these things that happened all at once,
Wow.
I was just like, you know what, this isn't working anymore.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I was going to do, but I knew I had to do something. So I always joke that I Googled how to start a business because I literally did. And my first LLC, like I didn't even do it myself.
Yeah.
After that, like one of my good friends, we were talking about her earlier, Chrissy, she told me how to do another LLC. And so the next one I did by myself. But the first time, I guess I hired legal Zoom or something like that. And that was a mistake because they charge you more. And it's so easy to make an LLC.
Yeah.
So now I actually teach people how to do it.
Good. I've done it for clients too. Not myself. I'll show them how to do it.
Yeah.
It's super easy to do.
But yeah, one day I just Googled how to start a business and it just kind of happened. It fell into it. Like I was just going to do a single solo practice, but then the place I found had room for 3 offices. So I moved in and people just came and like, are you hiring? Can I work for you? And I hired and they're working and clients just came and they got full and then we ran out of space. So we got more space and more people and it just kind of happened. I didn't really want it at all.
Yeah.
But it happened.
Yeah.
And
now you're figuring it out.
I'm figuring it out every single day because I literally Googled how to start a business. So I fall on my face quite often.
Mm-hmm.
I just fell on it recently and I'm figuring it out every single day. But the beauty of it all, though, is that every time I fall on my face, I've learned that I need to ask for help.
Yeah.
Because I used to not do that. And I used to think, oh, okay, well, I can just fix it by myself. Nobody needs to know. If I tell somebody that I messed up, then it's going to be a bad thing. And they're going to figure it out. And then I'm going to give up. And then like all this stuff in my head, right?
Yeah, it's
all
a story you tell yourself, yeah.
And so I learned how to ask for help. And the moment I learned how to ask for help, people just like willingly came to help.
Yeah.
I asked for help recently and a good friend of mine referred me to a fractional CFO. I had no idea that these people existed.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all I needed like from day one.
Yeah.
But this woman came with a fee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A very large fee.
Oh, yeah.
That I could not afford.
Mm-hmm.
So she's literally working for this much of her fee.
Yeah.
And she asked, when I find all the money that we need again, you can pay me, right? And I was like, absolutely. Yeah. So now I'm working with her and we're working with a team and like everything's getting back on track. But I mean, as an entrepreneur, like it's never like steady.
Mm-hmm.
Like the waves, they like to come.
Yeah. And, That is such a great analogy. The waves, they just keep coming. Been there, done that. This is the second sort of variation, if you will, of my business. I used to own an insurance agency on my own. I did that for 13 years, and I really wanted to change my focus to work with one specific type of clientele, which was commercial clients, so business owners. But because I had built my agency with working with personal lines clients, so like people who would buy auto and home insurance from me, I had a lot of those, right? And I didn't want to just let them go by the wayside. And so through a joke, I was talking to, now one of my partners, and he called me one day and was like, "Hey man, what's going on? How's it going?" And I was like, "Man, if I could just sell you my agency today, I would totally do that and come run your commercial department." And then that joke became more serious, and then before you know it, we had attorneys looking at contracts, and we ended up merging our agencies together, and I oversee the commercial insurance department, which is what I wanted to do. And I remember having conversations with several people, and it's always the question always comes up, like, is it more challenging than when it was just you? And the answer to that question is always, it's not more or less challenging. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's a different challenge, right? When I was on my own, I had a small team of 5 people. And then when I came here, now we have a staff of about 20 folks. And on top of that, I've got 3 business partners.
That's hard.
Yeah. That is a ton to manage.
Yes.
Everybody is completely different. And some days, don't get me wrong, I love the people that I work with. I don't know how I did it all on my own to begin with for as long as I did, and I'm so grateful that I'm here. But yeah, the challenge is completely different than when I was on my own.
Oh yeah, like when I first did this partnership that I have with these other women, I was so used to just coming to me to make decisions.
Coming to you to
yes.
make...
Like being like, "Oh, Jeanette, like you got to figure this out, right?" And now I had to actually like get the okay from more people. That has been like biggest challenge because you're so used to being like, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Like let's just do that." And even with that, like, I mean, I have a advisory board, right? Like my own for my businesses, awesome. Because you have to have people.
Absolutely.
Even if it's your own practice and you don't have anybody, a partner with it.
Right.
Like if you don't have people, you make mistakes, which is why I used to fall on my face. But now when you have people, like it just makes things so much easier.
Yeah. One of the posts that I saw recently of yours, you made a really great analogy that kind of made me think about this topic, right? So you essentially said businesses are to business owners like a child is to a parent, right? And I'm curious, what about your business brought that up? Yeah. What was the post about?
Yeah, I think I said,
spill the tea.
Oh, okay. All about it. So nobody's going to care about your baby the way you care about your baby.
That's right.
And that came from just a lot of experience, right? I told you I was a huge team at one time. People see what you do, right? And they're like, I want to do that. I want to do what she's doing. She's traveling. She's doing all these cool things. She's on podcasts. Like, I want to do that. And I was like, and so I inspired about 30 clinicians to go start their own practice.
Nice.
But the one thing I had to learn from that situation was that I inspire people, which is great, right?
Sure.
But also, nobody cares about your business the way that you're going to care about your business. That's your baby, right? and you're going to care for it. You're going to nurture it. You're going to feed it. You're going to make sure it grows. You're going to put all your attention and time and effort into it. And people might work with you and tell you that they're going to do the same. Like, oh, I'll never leave. This place is amazing. Like, this is great. But essentially, we're all in the game for ourselves.
Yeah.
And so whatever I created, I used to have this belief system that, oh, I'm going to have this huge family and we're going to grow together and everyone's going to stay. And that's not reality. And so a lot of people take it personal when people leave their business and they get upset and then they take clients with them and all these things. And that's my way of reminding myself, don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Because it's not personal. It's about them, and that's what they needed for their families and for their lives. And maybe I inspired them to open up another chapter of their life that maybe they want to be an entrepreneur.
Sure.
Maybe they want to experience. I don't know why anybody wants to do what we do.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But
well, if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I never wanted to do it either, so I don't know why I'm here, but I am. But that's what that was about. Like, nobody's going to care about your baby the way you care about your baby.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, business owners constantly are the ones, showing up early, staying late, and I think clients recognize that. They realize that too. That's why they're so quick to say, I want to talk to the owner of the business, or I want to talk to the manager of the business, or whatever it is. But I think, I think especially with our team, it's so important to empower them and to bring them up as leaders so that they can take ownership. While they might not have ownership like in the form of equity in the business, they've got ownership, they've got agency in the decisions that they're making to ultimately benefit the business and the clients, right? And to take care of them that way. And I think we've been fortunate that we've got some great team members. I think the national average, I heard recently that the national average of tenure an employee has at a any business is 3 years. Our employees, we have several. We have probably a third of our staff has been with us over 5 years. Yeah, and I think that says something about our business. Yeah,
absolutely. I believe the same. Like, you have to empower your staff to do for themselves, and when you empower them, they grow too. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm curious, kind of peeling back the curtain a little bit, looking back at your journey, what has been one lesson, between all the businesses that you have, what has been one lesson that you wish you would have learned earlier in your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh my gosh. There's been a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
A lot. But I think I'll go to the one that I just learned recently, like this past week. You can't lead with your heart. You have to lead with logic. You have to lead with reality. And I used to believe that I go last, like I'll eat last, right? But when you continue to live that belief, you end up last. And I put so much work and so much dedication and time, and I can't eat last. And so it was a hard thing to see, but once I saw it and I had communication with my little advisory boards, I recognized that you have to lead with heart, right? Because we have to empower people. We have to be that leader that they see with compassion, and like we want to see them grow. But you also have to lead with logic first. And that is what I learned recently.
Okay. So how does that translate to your what you're doing in your business, how you're dealing with team members? I mean, you don't have to, I'm not asking for specifics or anything like that, but like generally speaking, what does that look like for you in your business?
It looks like taking care of my people. I like to take care of my people, right?
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah.
But remember when I said I Googled how to start a business?
Sure.
Yeah, I wasn't really familiar with numbers. And when we had such a big staff, like the revenue was just flowing.
Yeah.
And so I could give them what I was giving them.
Yeah.
And then the radical reduction in revenue due to clinicians going to start their own practice, I didn't realize what I didn't realize until I realized it. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, I need to make a change.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're in the process of now, making some changes for the good, for this to sustain and to keep building and growing.
Yeah, yeah.
And the beauty of it is, though, like when you create a brand that helps people, like people keep coming.
Yeah.
And so it's just a matter of, I always say 3 months. And in 3 months, I'll be where I need to be.
Nice.
And it's only that quick, though, because of the belief and the people that are in my corner.
For sure. Yeah. Where are you in that 3-month journey right now? Are you in the first third, the middle third, or the last third?
I'm at the first third.
First third. All right.
We're gonna almost done with the first month.
We're gonna bring you back after the third.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It fixes itself all the time.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes we need a little guidance and we need to fix things and we need to change things, and people don't like change. I don't like change.
Yeah.
Change is scary.
Yeah, for sure.
But we got to do it sometimes as the business owner.
Yeah. I hear that. I hear that all too well. So as we wrap up, this has been a fun conversation. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But as we wrap up, I'm always curious about what your definition of legacy is. What does legacy look like for you personally? What does it look like for your family? What does it look like for your community? What does it look like for your team?
Legacy. Legacy means a lot. Legacy is what we leave behind.
Yeah.
Right? Legacy is what people remember you by. I want to be remembered by people as somebody who fought by them and helped them overcome and understand and be able to reach heights within themselves that they never thought possible.
Nice.
Within my family, I want to make sure that my parents have experiences that they never had before.
Nice.
For my son, I want him to just know that mom was always there and she supported me.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, good. I have no doubt that you'll be able to do that for your son.
Yeah.
And for your family. Jeanette, thanks so much for coming on the show. It's been a ton of fun. I've enjoyed our conversation. You're welcome back anytime. So
awesome.
when you're through the 3-month journey, if you want to come back and talk about,
we'll do a 3-month check-in.
Yeah, we'll do a 3-month check-in, see what the results look like, and you know how we can help other business owners go through that same sort of journey, if you will.
Exactly. And that's every time I fall on my face, I take the notes so I can create the course so that other people don't have to do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. Jeanette, Lira, thanks so much. If people want to get in touch with you, social media, give us your handles. What are some ways that people can connect with you?
So there's www.JeanetteLira.com, and that kind of takes you to all of the different businesses and the podcast. And if you're on Instagram, I think it's Jeanette in Lira. I don't know what I am on TikTok, but I have one of those too. I got a LinkedIn and a Facebook.
All right, we'll put all those links.
Google me.
There you go. We'll put all those links in the show notes so people can. We'll make it easy for people to find you.
Awesome.
Thanks again, Jeanette and Lira, for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. We appreciate you guys for checking out another episode of ChingonSA. We'll be back next week with another awesome episode. Hope you guys will tune in. We'll see you guys next week. This has been an MIG Studio and Serafina Digital production. Be sure to like and subscribe to the show on your favorite streaming platform, and tell a friend about the show by sharing this episode on your Facebook and TikTok. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or someone doing something really cool in San Antonio and want to get your story on our show, email me at luis@myinurancegroup.com.